Welcome. Today we're going to be doing a fall-long Calisthenics beginner push workout. This workout is meant to be a complement to the Calisthenics beginner pull workout that I released a few months ago. For this workout, you're going to need an elevated surface like a chair, bench, or coffee table. You'll also need a yoga mat, water, and a light resistance band. While you're getting all of your equipment together, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Complement. Their support allows me to make more free content for you, so big thank you to them for partnering with me. Complement is a whole food supplement company that's certified organic and cruelty-free. One of my personal favorites from Complement's line of supplements is their multivitamin. It contains 8 critical vitamins that we're often lacking in our diets in dosages that actually make a difference to our health. This means that I no longer need to buy, source, or take all of these vitamins separately, simplifying my routine and ensuring my foundational needs are met. They also have a greens powder that I take every single morning that has 5 diverse greens in it to support immune function and recovery. My favorite part about the greens is that it actually tastes really good, so I can just drink it on its own, but of course you can blend it in a smoothie if you prefer that as well. Plus, it naturally contains 50% of your daily iron intake. And of course, they have whole food plant-based protein as well. Use discount code SummerFunFitness to save, and thank you Complement for sponsoring this video. Let's get into the workout. We're gonna start today's workout with 10 deep squats, getting deeper as we go. I'm gonna give you a demo first. We're gonna have our feet pointed forwards about hip distance apart, and then we wanna stay upright throughout this squat. At the bottom, you wanna keep your knees open and rooted through the ground, nice and strong. You don't wanna just make it a passive hold. We're gonna stay strong and tall as we drive straight up, not letting our butt come up first or our chest come up first. We're gonna go for 10 and end with a hold. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, getting slightly deeper, 5. Remember to stand straight up, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're gonna go to the bottom position and do an active hold here, keeping the chest up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drive straight up. Next, we're gonna lower onto our mats. You're gonna outstretch your arms, roll your shoulder blades down, and we're gonna twist to the side, 6 reps on both sides. You're gonna get deeper as you go. If you can't fully touch, that's okay. Ready? Shoulder blades down your back. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost there, 11, and 12. Next, we're gonna go into 10 arm circles both directions. Let me demo one first. We're gonna depress our shoulders, reach long to the edges of the room. Now we're reaching tall, squeezing our shoulder blades together to come backwards. And again, you wanna reach the entire time. So let's go for 10, ready? Reach towards the floor, reach towards the wall, elongating as much as you can up to the ceiling and back. That was 1. We'll take it a little bit faster. 2, 3, reaching tall, come on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, reaching, come on. 9, last one, 10, and now the other way. Again, we're gonna reach towards the back of the room, rotate this way is a bit harder. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, come on, reach, 5, 6, 7, you got it, come on, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Oh, perfect. We're gonna go into banded pull-aparts. So grab your band. We're gonna kneel on our mat. Here, we're gonna set our shoulder blades down our back, elbows tucked into our sides, and we're gonna open across the chest, squeeze our shoulder blades together in the back, and we're gonna do that for 8 reps. Ready? Core working, let's go. 1, 2, big squeeze of your shoulder blades. 3, keep your elbows tucked into your sides. 4, 5, 6, 7. On this 8th one, we're gonna hold for a bit. 8, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Really open across the chest, you can feel it. Let's go. Keep your core working. Squeeze a bit more, and done. Now we're gonna keep our band in our hand and stand up to do 8 shoulder dislocates. We're gonna start with a supinated grip, so palms up like this. And we're gonna go over our head, we're gonna reach our shoulders up to our ear, rotate, bring it down. And again, we're gonna do that for 8. Ready? Depress your shoulders. When we get to this point, you're gonna elevate, reach them up towards your ears, rotate, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and down. So 1, 2, make sure you're trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep going for 4, 5, keep your pelvis tucked under so you're not moving through the rib cage a ton. 6, 7, and last one. Squeeze together for an extra little second on the back and come forward. Next, you're gonna need your box. I'm gonna take a little water break. This is gonna be a superset. While you're drinking water, I will demo. We're gonna do 8 reps each, starting with scap shrugs. So we're gonna come to the edge of your box or chair, whatever you have. You're gonna take your hips off of it, and then you're going to go into shoulder depression, keeping your elbows straight. Your elbows don't wanna bend at all. We're gonna shoulder depression where we're sinking down, and then we're gonna push up nice and tall. And we're gonna flow through that for our 8 reps and combine it with scap push-ups on an elevated surface. So again, we're gonna keep our elbows straight, and we're going to sink, pulling our shoulder blades together, really squeezing, and then pulling them apart. This is moving from shoulder retraction to shoulder protraction. And we're gonna do that again for 8 reps, repeat twice. So finish up drinking your water, and let's get started. Hips off the box. We're gonna start in our depression where we're sinking down, and we wanna make sure we're using our core, tucking our hips under. Ready? We're gonna go up and down for 1, 2, keep those elbows straight, 3, 4, 5, 6, really push tall, 7, keep pushing, 8. Turning around and going into our scap push-ups. So you wanna tuck your pelvis under, keep your ribs down, core working and pulled in, and we're gonna keep our elbows straight. We're gonna squeeze together, pull apart. That was 1, 2. Keep your neck neutral, you don't want your neck moving. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Turning around and doing that again. Shake out your wrists if you need it. You can always pause the video if you need. But we're gonna go into our 8 reps here, starting in depression, pushing tall. 1, 2, 3, keep those elbows straight. 4, make sure you're pushing through both arms and not sinking to one side. 6, 7, And we'll do one more for our 8, turning around to doing our scap push-ups. Again, for 8, tuck those hips under. You can even squeeze your glutes if you're having trouble maintaining that position. Core pulled in, neck neutral, sink down, squeeze together, pull apart. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I got that count wrong, 6, 7, last one, and 8. Now we're gonna come to our mats and do a 2-minute wrist warm-up. We're gonna do 4 wrist warm-up drills, each for 30 seconds, totaling 2 minutes. If you wanna make the exercises less intense, you're gonna sit more upright so there's less pressure on your wrist. And if you wanna make them harder, you're gonna lean more forwards to put more weight on your wrist. Ready? We're gonna get started. We're gonna alternate, stretching one wrist and then the other, keeping your elbows straight. Getting ready to swap drills here. We're gonna go palms down and then lift up. Getting ready to switch drills again, placing the back of your hand on the ground and then squeezing your fists together before opening again. Pointing your hands out to the side, and we're gonna just rock side to side, keeping your fingers spread nice and open. And done. We finished our warm-up and it's time to get ready for the workout. Next, we're gonna be doing incline push-ups. You're gonna need a very tall box, a kitchen table, or even a wall. We're gonna be doing 8 reps with a partial rep in between at the bottom position. We're gonna do it for 3 sets with 60 seconds of rest in between. But first, let me give you some push-up pointers. We want our elbows to be about 45-degree angles from our body. We don't want them to be all the way up here or tucked in nice and close. So just about here. We also want to frame our chest, so our hands should be on either side of our chest at the bottom of our push-up. You want to keep your shoulders depressed the whole time, so lots of space in between your ear and your shoulder. You don't want to come down and then have your shoulder come up and come up like that. So you want to keep them depressed, framing your chest, and then you want to keep your core pulled in nice and tight. Tuck your pelvis under, core pulled in, lower to your chest, do your half rep, and then come back up, keeping your neck neutral. Are you ready? Let's go. Sit up, shoulders down your back. We're gonna lower, squeeze, do a half rep. You should feel this across your chest and come all the way up. That was 1, 2, 3, keep that neck neutral. 4, feel it across your pecs. 5, 6, you got it. 7, last rep. Really push up through your chest, squeezing your elbows nice and tight. And that was your 8th rep. We're gonna take 60 seconds of rest now. On your second round, you may need to elevate your surface even more, all the way up to a wall, and that's okay. When you're doing this, again, we want our elbows at that 45 degree. If you're not feeling it across your chest, try this little drill. Take your hands together into the prayer pose, and then squeeze, starting from the upper pec down the arm. This should help to activate your pec, and that's the same feeling that you should have at the bottom of your push-up. If you're not feeling it in your pec, your elbows might be just hanging out. You wanna keep them at that 45 degree, squeeze your surface to activate your pecs, and then push up. We're gonna do our 8 reps with our partial. Let's go. Shoulder blades down our back, pelvis tucked, core pulled in, lower to your chest, partial rep, and up. That was 1. Keep those elbows in, squeezing across the pecs. 3, shoulders pulled down. 5, 6, neck neutral. 7, and 8. Time for 60 seconds of rest again. On to our last round of the push-ups. If these have been too easy, lower your box. If they're too hard, elevate your box. You got this, you can do it. Let's get started. Keep that core pulled in, pelvis tucked, neck neutral. We're gonna lower to frame our chest and do our half rep and push up. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you got it, come on. 7, last one, and 8, push all the way up. Nice work. We got 60 seconds of rest, and then our next drill, which we'll also be using our box. Next, we have bench dips. We're gonna be doing 8 reps, 3 sets with 60 seconds of rest in between. I'm gonna give you a demo first. So come to your box, sit on it, and then place your hand on either side. You don't want it too wide, just right beside your hips, it works well. Then you're gonna wanna depress your shoulders and keep them depressed the whole time. Grip the edge of your box, come forward, and when you're doing your bench dip, you'll wanna keep your neck neutral, your gaze in front of you. You don't want to stick your neck out to help you come up. So you're gonna keep that neutral. You wanna keep your forearms stacked so they're straight up and down. You don't want them sticking out to the side or going all in all sorts of ways. If you're having trouble with that stack, I find it helpful to put a water bottle or yoga block there just to signal you to keep it straight up and down. From there, you also wanna tuck your hips under, keep your core pulled in. At this bottom position, you wanna make sure you're not rounding or pulling your shoulder blades forward. You wanna keep them back. As you come up, you're going to push straight up from the tricep. For your first few reps, you're going to want to use more of your tricep. As you get tired, you can use more of your legs to stand up. Are you ready? We're going to do our 8 reps. Shoulders down, grip the edge of your box, tuck your core under, and lower. Keep those elbows strong and push straight up from the triceps. That was 1, 2. Neck neutral, come on. 3, 4. If you have to use more of your legs here, go ahead and do so. 5. Make sure your shoulders aren't rounding forward. 6. Forearms staying completely perpendicular to the ground. 7. Last rep. Big push through the triceps. And we're gonna take our 60 seconds of rest now. Getting ready for our next round, make sure that you're feeling it in your tricep as you push up. Tuck your hips under, gaze forward, neck neutral, let's lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 60 seconds of rest, here we come. On to our last round. If you're not feeling quite tired enough, you can always elevate your feet to make it harder. Again, for the 8 reps. Let's get into it, making sure our shoulders are pulled down and we're keeping them there the entire time. We're gonna lower, push up with your triceps for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got it, come on. 6, only 2 more. 7, last one, you got it, can go a little bit lower. And 8. 60 seconds of rest, and then on to our next exercise. Next, we're gonna go into a superset of arch body holds for 20 seconds, paired with downward dog shoulder taps for 8 reps, 4 on either side. We're not gonna be resting in between, and we're gonna do this for 3 sets. We're gonna start with our arch body holds, coming down onto our belly. I'll talk you through it first. We're gonna squeeze our legs together, keep our knees bent, and then we're gonna lift our chest as much as we can, rolling our shoulder blades down our back, squeezing them together, trying to look up if we can, and then lifting our feet towards the ceiling as we fight to lift our chest. We're gonna do that for 20 seconds. Ready? Let's go. If you wanna make it more challenging, you can always extend your arms. Squeeze your glutes together, lift your heels up towards the ceiling a little bit more, chest a bit higher, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Can you lift your feet higher and higher? Really squeeze those glutes. And down. Going right into our downward dog shoulder taps. You're gonna place your hands shoulder width apart, not too wide. You're going to push away with your shoulder blades. You should feel your ears next to your shoulders. Then we're gonna fight to take one hand off and touch your shoulder or your wrist. You wanna fight to keep your body straight. You don't wanna be shifting side to side. So let's go ahead and do this together. Grip the ground with your fingers. Push tall with your shoulders. Bring your head in between your arms so you can feel your earlobes touching your shoulders. Take one hand off. Your core should stay stable. Touch your shoulder for 1, 2, 3. You shouldn't be shifting side to side. 4. Push tall with your shoulders again. 5, 6. Really push. Come on. 7. Your last rep. 8. We're gonna come down into our 20 seconds of our arch body hold. Feet together, chest up, ready, and lift. This whole time you wanna fight to keep your chest up more and more, squeezing your glutes, lifting your knees higher off the ground, and continuing to breathe. If your knees need to open a bit, that's okay too. And down. Right into our shoulder taps in our downward dog position. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. Push tall with the shoulders. Feel your earlobes in between your shoulders. Stabilize your hips. Take one hand off. Make sure you're not twisting side to side. Touch that shoulder for 1. Push again with the shoulders. 2, push hard, push the ground away. 3, pull your core in. 4, 5, 6, elbows are inside of your elbows are facing each other. 7 and 8. Coming right back down to your arch body for your last one. Feet together, take a breath, and lift. Remembering to breathe, curling up higher and higher. Can you lift your feet up a bit higher? Knees higher off the ground, chest up. If you want to make it harder, you can keep your knees squeezed together. You got 4 more seconds. And down. Last round of our downward dog shoulder taps. Core in, hands gripping, pushing tall, head in between your arms. Let's go for 1. Push tall again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Get that extra little push for a second. Elbow pits facing each other. And rest for 45 seconds. And we're on to our last exercise of the day. We're gonna be doing a bent arm plank for 10 seconds with 10 seconds of rest in between for a total of 60 seconds. I'm gonna be doing it on an elevated box to make it a bit more accessible. Same cues as our push-ups, where we want our arms at a 45-degree, not out to the side or too tight in. And we wanna be framing our chest and keeping our neck neutral and core pulled in. Let's set up for the position, and I'm gonna start the timer. And let's go. 10 seconds holding, feeling it across your chest, keeping your core pulled in. You got it, we're doing 10 seconds. We're at 8, 9, 10, and you can push up or stand up here as we take a 10-second break. 2, 1, and lower and hold and squeeze nice and tight. Keep your core engaged, you got it, neck neutral, come on. 9, 10, rest. You got this. We got 10 seconds rest and then our last round before we stretch. 8, 9, and lower, hold. You got it, come on. Core pulled in, squeezing across your chest, come on. 9, 10, and you're done. It's time to stretch. I'll meet you on your yoga mat. Come to your box or couch or whatever you got, and we're gonna run through some stretches. Place your elbows on the box, head in between your arms, and then arch your back, pressing your elbows in to your box. Trying to get that arch into your upper spine as well. Lifting your head slightly. Continue to press your elbows into the box. Arch your tailbone. Thinking about lengthening from the top of your head all the way to your tailbone, creating this circle of energy. Sinking a bit deeper if you can. Taking a deep breath. One more big deep breath. Keep your arms where they are, but tuck your tailbone. Round your spine. Keep pressing your elbows into the box. Begin to pull your shoulder blades apart. Continue pressing, tucking that pelvis under. Take a deep breath. Can you pull your shoulder blades apart a little bit more? One more big deep breath. Tucking your pelvis. Breathing out, and then bringing your hands to the bench. You can take a wide hand position, and we're gonna sink down. This is a more passive stretch. We're just gonna hang out, take some deep breaths, let gravity push us down. Two more deep breaths, let's go. Now tuck your pelvis under. Begin to push the box away from you. Pull your shoulder blades apart and let your hips sink to one side. Feeling the stretch right here. Switching sides, letting your hips drop to one side, taking deep breaths. One last one. Coming up, I'm gonna go to our yoga mats. In a kneeling position, take one arm, thread it through, bring that shoulder to the ground, and then square off your hips. Your hips tendency is going to be leaning to one side. We're gonna feel more of a twist in our spine if we aim to square them off. Pressing our shoulder into the ground, as well as that hand. Trying to keep those hips square. One more deep breath. Switching to the other side, so planting your hand, coming to your kneeling position, then threading your other arm through, letting your shoulder touch, and then begin squaring off your hips, pushing that shoulder into the ground, feeling the twist in the spine. One more deep breath here. Back to our kneeling position. We're going to turn our hands back, our fingers backwards. Keep our elbows straight and give our wrists a bit of a stretch. Pull your shoulders away from your ear and sit back. If this is too intense, you can just have your hands closer to your body. And that's it for the workout. If you want to do more stretches, feel free to do so, but you did so good today. You can keep pairing this workout with my Follow Along Calisthenics Beginner Pull workout a few times per week for 6 to 8 weeks. I want to say a big thank you to Compliment for sponsoring this video, and thank you for being here.